bylaws of the United States Amateur Boxing Association that requires the coaches to wrap the athlete's hand a certain way. Like I said, there is a standard, and this standard is for protection. You protect the boxer, so we try to reduce the risk for breaking bones in their hands. We also reduce the risk for injury to the opponent, because if you have more of your hand or the knuckles exposed, now you're having one would have an advantage or leverage over the other boxer. So we definitely have a standard of how to wrap a hand, and before each fight we have an official. They inspect the wrapping and they will sign off on it.
Oh, I see.
After, and this is very important, after the boxing bout, after they've completed, they will take the gloves off, and they judge, or the referee within the ring will inspect the wrapping and make sure the signature has not changed. Again, because we wrap before they get in and then they glove up. We want to make sure there's no unfair advantage, because we want to reduce the risk for injury to both athletes. And then, like I always say, student athletes.
Right. In other words, something could be placed inside that glove.
Right, exactly. Right? You know, we don't want to have any disadvantages or someone taking advantage. Again, you know, it's all about sportsmanship. It is a discipline. We're here to learn discipline, dedication, determination, diet, because this will spread and develop into life. It becomes a lifestyle.
Right.
You know, whether it's your family, going to school, you want to finish up junior high school, go to college. When you're working as a profession, it's all about discipline and being dedicated. When you raise a family, you have to show discipline, dedication, and this is what the sport offers.
Right, so it's more than just two people sparring at each other. They're learning a lot of things that it's for their maturity and for their well-being.
Absolutely.
And also working under a set of rules.
Yes.
Okay, talking about rules, I've seen different gloves.
Right.
And some gloves are big and fat, some are real small. What determines the gloves?
Right. Well, we have certain standards, again, that it's set by United States Amateur Boxing Association, and it's based on a style of glove. We have what's called the thumbless, again, to reduce risks, and that was a pro because of an injury of a famous boxer.
Right.
A thumb, because the old style, the thumb was sticking out.
Yeah.
And actually the individual who designed it were from here in the South Bronx.
Right.
And Everlast, and they came up and designed.
Interesting, right here in the South Bronx.
Right, at South Bronx, right? And they developed what we call the thumbless glove to reduce the risk of getting poked in the eye, because last thing you want to do is cause someone to be blind or have an unfair advantage by punching someone in the eye with the thumb, and they can't see, and they can't defend themselves. But so we have a specific style that we use, and also the ounce, the weight of the glove.
Yes.
And that's set by the age group and whether you're amateur or professionals, and that's within the guidelines of the United States Amateur Boxing Association.
Right.
So it's all about reducing risk, injury. That's what this sport's about.
Now, before the fight, I noticed you were looking over the bodies of the boxers, and what were you looking for?
Well, like I said in the first show, I'm looking for subtle changes. I'm looking at the musculoskeletal system. I want to make sure they're strong, that there's no injuries, there's no open wounds. Sometimes you could have a sore, and it could be weeping. You cannot compete. So I have to protect both boxers, from reducing risk. We don't want to spread infection. I'm also looking for neurological changes, and looking for subtle changes. As I stated before, that if there was a concussion or someone was what we call dazed and confused, there is a standard protocol that they cannot compete within a minimum of 30 days, and that they must be medically cleared before they can participate in the next event. So my job is to look for subtle changes in the musculoskeletal system, as well as make sure they're neurologically intact.
How do you become a referee?
Well, first you have to have an interest in boxing, and most of the refs and judges, clerks, everyone who's involved with the United States Amateur Boxing Association in the Metro, majority were former boxers. They were retired police officers, retired firemen. They have a passion for the sport. They competed in the Golden Gloves. Some were professional athletes. And what they did was they volunteered and they contacted the United States Amateur Boxing Association. If you look online, you can get their contact information. Matter of fact, I'll post that online for you. So if you do want to get involved and volunteer, and they register and they sign up for classes. We have courses that they offer so you can get certified. You must be certified and registered, and you get a passport, and you get a card, not a passport, but you get a card. The boxer gets a passport, but you get a card, like I have a card, and it says I am a registered physician with the United States Boxing Association. Well, the same thing with the coaches and the refs.
Right. Now, I noticed that certain people can get into that ring.
Yes.
And certain people can't. I noticed some people tried to get in the ring, and they told them, hey, you can't get in that ring. Well, what makes that coach or that person qualified to get in that ring?
Right. Well, that's important. We're really strict and very, very strict with the bylaws. The judges will make sure that the coaches, in order for them to sit in the corner, they must be registered, and they have to show their card. Now, every year we have a list that goes out. Your registration is coming up due. You have to pay. You have to be certified, and so we know who's on the list. And every year you'll see it posted. And if you're not registered, you're not qualified to sit in that corner.
Right. In other words, he's supposed to go in there and it gives water and
just instruction.
It gives instructions and things like that. And is that protection there for some kind of person going in there and giving the fighter something that he shouldn't be given?
Yeah, that could be part of it.
Yeah.
But it's also, we want to make sure that that we know the person in the ring that's offering instruction knows what they're doing. Right,
I see what you mean. What instruction should he be given, and what instruction shouldn't he be given?
Well, that all depends on the scenario. So it's too broad, so I wouldn't even.
Right. but he's trained, and he knows exactly what he should be saying.
Right.
You see the movies where some of these coaches say, hit him in the groin, hit him in the groin.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the reason why I brought it up. Yeah,
that's good. It's a good point, because this is a clean sport. It's all about sportsmanship.
Yeah.
And there's certain rules and regulations, and even if the coach in the corner is yelling too loud, the judges will point out and say you got to keep it down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's real strict.
I didn't know that.
All right, I know we only have about a minute, so we have to wrap this up. But one thing I want to talk about is let's talk about Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit banged New York to pieces. I don't understand why.
I have to commend Detroit, and I like to give a respect to downtown, the boxing club. Fantastic program they have in Detroit. You can contact them through their website. But these guys, these cats,
that's right.
These boxers,
these guys are good.
They were hungry, and they were hungrier than the New York fighters. I mean, it was a phenomenal competition. But they won this year, and they were hungry. And they went to the next level with this competition.
That's great, yeah. This is one. I thank you for inviting me.
Well, I thank you for giving me this opportunity.
It was a treat. No, I mean, just inviting me to see a boxing up close.
Yes.
I never got that close.
Because you're part of the community, and you were able to offer your spiritual guidance, and that's what we really need throughout life. It's more than just coming to the church. You're out there in community activities, and this was just an example.
I thank you for that opportunity.
All right, thank you. All right, remember, stay alive with Church Live. God bless.